Is that music? What's that music through there? Yeah. Sorry, yeah. That's right, I don't...
Deeper. It's
no,
fine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the announcement of my 4th challenge. Sorry, that's a different speech, is it?
It's your last one as well.
Yeah, Karen's face. You've heard it before, and countless times I'll say it in the future, I'm sure, but so many thank yous to say. And I firstly want to start with the wives, husbands, sons, daughters, boyfriends, girlfriends of the support team that are on the road. I mean, if you wouldn't have allowed your other half or your mum or dad or partner to come out and be part of the challenge, it wouldn't have happened. So, you know, a massive thank you to you first and foremost for allowing the team to come together, the dream team. It was absolutely incredible, and I guess from a personal perspective, I've got to start with Karen as a thank you as well for standing by. I guess initially my first decision to do these kind of crazy events and push myself to a limit that I had no idea where the boundaries were, and I guess that was part of the journey. Trying to find what that was, as well as raising an incredible amount of money for a fantastic charity. Luke and Kenzie, again, were part of that family unit, that decision process. And that support, family has always been that #1 priority for me. Football was my life and my journey, my career for many years, but family was always the backbone behind it, which gave me the foundation to be able to do what I did in my career and my life since then. So, without them backing what I wanted to do, and then us as a family and starting to build that team and that family environment, was a massive thanks to you guys, because I've dragged you through the emotions of it all, like I have done to everybody to a certain degree, but they've certainly been at the cold face of it all for months and months, and obviously years now over all the 3 challenges. I think it's only right, it might be a bit lengthy, but I'd like to just touch on each of you here tonight that were part of that support team on the road. I mean, it's going to be maybe a little bit difficult to go around all the way, but if I start somewhere here, like Lucy, if it wasn't for... Swimming, as I've said on many occasions, was the big challenge for me in the build up to this. And the weird thing about it was, on the challenge, it was probably, I wouldn't say the easiest, but the most relaxing part of the day in a way, because I could get into that meditation state of mind, swimming alongside Lucy. She'd be there, sometimes just saying, just ease the pace down a little bit. But it's a massive thanks to you, Lucy, because if you hadn't put the work in with me and I hadn't have bought into what your coaching and expert advice gave, I would have been doing the challenge in armbands and a rubber ring. So, it's a testament to your coaching and the work that you did with me to get me to that stage. So a massive thank you, massive thank you. Partners as well, I touched on Connie, Lewis, obviously for Luke and Ken's. Ben is a massive part of our life, we know that. And just having that confidence and that peace of mind, I guess, back at home. They wanted to be out on the road with us. Obviously, I had commitments as well, but they shared the workload in looking after Ben back home whilst we were out on the road on the challenge. So again, without you guys, your support, I know you wanted to be out probably a little bit more than you were, but not just backing up Luke and Ken's and Ben, but the rest of us as well. Massive thank you to you guys. So thank you guys.
Yeah, woo!
Moving along the table, Dino. Well, if there was... Now, Dino could fit a number of categories in what he actually did on the challenge, but none more so than Bruce.
Chelsea.
A new character that we've never met before. Dino, it's amazing to have you back. I mean, the 3 challenges we've done, I mean, there's some that have been part of this challenge, some that are part of the first challenge. There's people that aren't here that have been part of the events in the past, and we couldn't have done it without everybody. But to have you back on this challenge, mate, was not just for me, giving me that peace of mind and comfort on the road, on the bike, on well, the pool was pretty. We're not going to get lost in the pool, really, are we? But you never know. You never know. But navigating this, not just me, but everyone around the country, over 2 challenges, and most definitely this last one was brilliant, mate. We only went off piste a little bit once, I think, didn't we?
Nobody will ever know.
No, but we did the mileage. We did all the mileage, even if it's a few laps around the car park, just to finish it off. But not just your experience, your knowledge, it's that personality as well, mate. That you knew when we needed to kick up the backside, and you always lightened the mood when it needed it as well. So to be able to separate yourself when you're immersed in it so closely as well, huge credit to you, mate. So thank you. Now, by their own description, the 3 gentlemen on the table further along, the Chuckle Brothers, I think they described each other. Wayne, Miles and Rich, amazing guys. I mean, great friends as well. And I come to Andrew and Andre about the bike as well, but to have that support on the road, on the bike, to get me out on training rides, again, just that personal support, not just being out and saying, let's get out for a ride, let's get some miles in. The tunes on the bike, just having the sounds blaring along as we were riding along was brilliant. To just see you rock up in the middle of nowhere. I have no idea where you arrived on the first, was it 3rd day, 4th day, something like that. To just see you pop up in the middle of nowhere with all your hat faces poking out the window of the car was great. It was a massive lift, and not just me, but everybody. You lighten the mood, and that help on the road was massively appreciated. So thank you, guys. Stu, you and Michelle, obviously known you for a long time now, and working with the boys as well in the past, and lovely young men. I think you've done virtually every bit of the challenges, mate, haven't you? You've been out, been on the vehicles, you've been sorting stuff off logistics-wise, you've been out, joined me on the run at times and stuff like that as well. And I think it just goes to show how wholeheartedly you've thrown yourself into these challenges and backing what it is we've all been doing. And again, such a key personality, not just those obvious roles that everybody's had, but I think everybody's done it to a degree that if something needed doing, you would step up like many others to just get it done, because it was something that needed doing at the time, however big or small. So, without you, mate, couldn't have done these things. So thank you. Jenny, obviously part of Cancer Research UK. Just the support we've had from the charity has been incredible. There was obviously a media team around this challenge, and I must say, I've forgotten, there's a few that couldn't make this evening, was there? So Shelley from Cancer Research UK, there was Kelly, sports therapist, who took care of me on every single challenge, and there was obviously Christian and Lou who couldn't be here tonight. So we're missing them, but we hopefully look forward to catching up with them. But the charity has been amazing. I guess as each one's gone on, it's moved on to another level. But without your support and obviously controlling and overseeing a lot of stuff, I think the momentum built, didn't it, from the interest outside of our sort of little bubble that we're in on the road. So yeah, massive thanks to you and everyone on the charity. Thank you. Just on Christian and Lou, Stu, obviously you're a big part of capturing what was the journey, and that's such a crucial part, I'd say, of not just ourselves at some point digesting what we've done and how it looked through a lens, I guess. And I guess that's almost a real skill to try and capture that emotion, that rawness that we're all feeling, the good, the bad, whatever it might have been, for, I guess, the wider world to see. And that will come out in the coming months, I'm sure, and we'll share all that in various ways. But again, it's not just the skill that you brought with what you do, mate. It was, again, just for what has always been a key thing for us, it's being the right personalities that fit into a team. And again, done it amazingly, mate. So thank you very much. Bill, we're obviously part of the family as well. Can't leave you out at all. Now, where do I start? Blimey, this could be up here now. But as we know, Bill's had his own touch with cancer. So and that was from the first challenge starting to where we are now. And again, without not just the efforts that we've all been throwing in, but countless other people out in the world doing their fundraising, making donations, makes a difference to the research and the treatment that is basically where we are today. And that has obviously enabled Bill to come through your own battle, mate. So yeah, love you to bits, and we'll just keep you out of the driver's seat on any other future challenges.
Don't give him that.
My captain's out.
Nicole, project manager, we honestly couldn't have found a better person for the role. I mean, somebody that has been such a close friend of Karen's going back to middle school. I mean, blimey, Karen's already shared an embarrassing story about me rocking up here, actually in the pier when it was a nightclub, when I'd been sort of like clocking the girls in my younger days, and rocking up on my own one night saying, yeah, I'll come down here many nights, when I just rocked up on my own just to come down and see Karen. But they all realised I came down specifically on my own, just to try and catch another conversation with her. But you've been such a close friend. You've controlled and managed, and that's a skill in itself. I think not just getting the job done and pushing the right buttons at the right time, but to keep a harmony of so many people as well in a certain way is massive testament to not just your skills and qualities, but also you as a personality and how you can manage a group of people. And again, you've been key to that, and again, been absolutely amazing for Karen, myself and the kids, so thank you. Graham and Jane have covered, again, many bases. I remember having a conversation with Graham saying, oh, I'd like to do some crazy event. I want to run to every Premier League stadium. I'm doing a little bit of training at this point. I think we might have had the conversation with Di and Shelley as well, but he said, well, where else are you with it? I said, well, that's it. I'm doing a bit of training. He said, well, I think you maybe need to start putting some things in place. He said, well, you need a website. Let's get a website built, let's get some presence, let's start announcing it a little bit to the wider world. And then obviously Jane coming on board and looking after the books and just the printing side of it. I mean, it's not just the two of you, it's the family, it's everyone, isn't it? And we've got to know you in such a close way as well as others that are, such close friends, and the work that you've been doing behind the scenes has been incredible. But also coming out on the challenges, whether it's running, I can't remember what was the first one, first challenge, miles, wasn't it? It was almost a marathon, I think you ran that day. Yeah. So yeah, massive thank you for all you've done from day one right up to now. Thank you guys. From CI UK, just with what you've done, mate, took it to another level, and you did it in a manner that was just brilliant. I mean, if ever I turned round at any stage on this challenge, you were there with everybody else. Quite often Kelly's accomplice to say, eat that, Fran, go get that inside you. Working in tandem with Andrew a little bit, I think. But I couldn't have asked for anything better. Like if there was anything I needed or wanted, or sometimes just having a presence nearby. If there was something that needed to be done, you were right there to step up, not just for me, but for everybody. And again, that role with the charity, absolutely amazing, mate. So thanks for all your efforts on this. Thank you. Andrew, Shelley, wingman on the bike, with Gary, unbelievable, mate. I mean, yourself, these boys can ride, Wayne, Miles and Rich. You and Andre are just beasts on a bike. I mean, and it's quite scary, isn't it? And the boys know, like if you two can kick on and like leave me and many others just in a cloud of dust for sure. But for months you've been taking me out, you've been encouraging me to get out on the bike, and you've been tailoring your level of riding to me, to get me to a position where I could take the challenge on. So for the months of training, and none more so than being on the challenge itself, Andrew, every single mile of it, we've probably talked some nonsense, or I've been talking nonsense for many hours, and Gary will back that up. He heard it all as well. and it takes a trust as well, I think, from what I've learned on cycling, you know, to sort of trust in someone to say, right, when we're going for it downhill, I want you an inch off my back wheel. You know, that takes a belief and a confidence in the person that you're following. And I had that in Andrew or Andre or Gary, whoever was out there, the boys. It's a weird thing to explain maybe if you haven't done it, but you've got to buy in 100%. You can't buy in 90%. You can't be a foot off the back wheel. It's got to be an inch or two. And that first day, mate, was a close call when it could have ended up very different when that car turned across us. So it was a close one, Gary, wasn't it? And one that came out. I think those angel wings on our kit, those people that are no longer with us, were certainly looking out for us on that occasion. And you know, to have your company for hours and hours on end was absolutely amazing. So Andrew, Gary, Andre, thank you guys. You've been absolutely awesome. Di, you were there right from the first conversation from day one, and you know, not just coming along and supporting the challenges from a personal perspective, you and Gary, but also obviously from a charity angle as well. And when I said I wanted to run to every Premier League stadium every day for 3 weeks and raise £1 million, you probably did question it a little bit to a degree. But what you did do from day one as well, whatever conversation you were maybe having away from my ears, was on the face of it, you backed me in every single way. And it's been the case from that moment right up till now, like everybody. So yeah, can only be eternally grateful for everything that you've done. When you stepped into challenges as well, when we needed some support and help, when certain things went a little bit wrong at times. So yeah, huge thank you. There was Ian popped out as well. You know, what a man. I mean, and again, I think this just typifies what we've all been trying to do, what we've been trying to raise money for. Ian came to us out of the blue saying, look, how can I help? I just would like to offer my help and services. And on the last challenge, it was when you had the motorbike, mate, wasn't it? And when the cars or Dino would take a little detour somewhere, it's comforting to know that you were nearby on the bike, looking after me. You know, when maybe the team were a little bit further afield, and again, just mixing in, whether it was driving, whether it was just sort of packing gear up, cleaning the motorhome, whatever it might have been, literally prepared to get your hands dirty, muck in and back what it was we were doing. And you know better than anybody what this can do to families, and your support to not just myself and everybody else has been absolutely incredible. So to you and Sherry, a huge thank you. I could honestly talk for hours and probably go into more detail about every single one of you, I promise. I mean, and my words that I've just shared now, I honestly genuinely feel, stood here now, it doesn't do justice to what every single one of you have done for me, for the family, for the charity, for the journey that we've been on. And it's been a journey in many ways. And one that I think has certainly been for the better. I think we've all found ourselves in a position at some point on these challenges that has pushed us to our limits in one way or another, whether it's lack of sleep, you know, the challenge itself, the physical side of it, the logistics, whatever it might have been. It's just honestly, it doesn't feel, thank you is not enough. But by coming here together tonight, the team that are on the road, it's an opportunity to get back together. I definitely had that little lull and those blues after the challenge. I think probably all of us have experienced that to a degree. So I'm not going to make an announcement about any more challenges. just for the sake of my own health when I get home tonight. But who knows? I mean, what I would say is that Karen, myself, Luke and Kenzie, the family, Bill, any of us are here for any of you guys that whenever you may need some help, because you've certainly, every single one of you stepped up to support us when we needed it as well. So we've hit that £1 million mark. Hopefully we'll raise some more. There will be more stuff going on. We're planning, obviously, or we're not planning, but we're going to have a dinner, I'm sure. So that relationship and friendship will only grow stronger. And it's difficult to people that haven't been with us on the road, unless you've been part of that on-road team. I think that it gives us a bond with something when you go through those experiences and you see what goes into the day-to-day organisation or the challenge itself. And because of that, we'll always have something that links every single one of us. So again, have a great night. We'll have a bit of fun. There's no need to dash off unless you need to. But again, thanks for coming, and yeah, maybe we'll see one another on something else in the future.